Welcome to the podcast of School Beyond Limitations. In this podcast, you will learn how to guide your child through their school life with the intention to help them find their unique essence that will allow your daughter, your son to live a fulfilled and meaningful life. What can I do if the conflict party is not willing to change their view on things? My name is Dr. Martina. I'm the CEO, co-founder and designer of the school model of School Beyond Limitations. If you would like your child to live a fulfilled and meaningful life, then this may be the channel for you. What can I do if the conflict party is not willing to open up and listen to me? This is a question that, in my view, is very important to also discover. And this is basically a follow-up on a previous podcasts where I said, how children can react if there is a conflict. And I think what children can do, also adults can do. And there I said, just go and talk to the person. Go and open up. Talk to one another instead of talking about somebody, because I think it's very important that most of the time what happens is that we kind of have learned to talk about people, to talk about things, and without facing the situation directly with that person. So the more we talk about with somebody else, about a person, the more I actually increment and increase the problem, because I don't have the direct communication with the person. And basically also from an energetical point of view, I give space to complaints and I give space to negative gossip and rumors and stuff like that. So refraining from such an approach is very, very important. So what if, however, I had a question under one of my podcasts in the past, what if the other party actually doesn't want to talk to me and doesn't listen, and I really go there and want to talk to that person? Let's pretend my child goes there, wants to have peace, wants to clarify the situation, and this other person does the opposite. And that happens. Yes, it can happen that the person doesn't want to speak, that the person closes up, that the person has their own opinion, their own point of view, and sees maybe the child or myself in a certain light, and there is no willingness whatsoever to open up and to actually find a solution with one another. So what is the strategy? In my view, there are many strategies, honestly speaking. Of course, I may not be able to make this person change their perspective, their point of view, but I'm able to self-regulate my own emotions. I'm able to work on myself, and I'm able to actually understand. And there is a saying basically that says, change what you can change, take action where you can take action, but kind of let go of what is not in your hands. So basically what a person needs to do is get this understanding, this consciousness level, that there are moments where I can't make the other person change. I will never be able to change anybody outside of my context if they are not willing to change and if they are not willing to open up. So I can build up my own personality. I can build up my own emotions in a way that says, okay, I understand, I acknowledge, I don't love it, but I acknowledge this aspect that the other person doesn't want to speak with me, that the other person turns around, that the other person may be even nasty or unfriendly or impolite or whatsoever, but I let go. And that means a lot of strength within oneself. If I'm strong within and embedded in my strength and in my power and in my confidence, then I do not like the other person to treat me that way. Of course, I will never say this is nice, but I will actually acknowledge this is the case. Have I done everything? Have I tried to reach out to that person? Have I tried different modalities? And if I can say yes to all of that, however, I can then say, okay, I've done everything, but now I let this person be in this situation. I acknowledge that this person doesn't want to have anything to do with me, or doesn't want, talks badly about me, which is not nice, of course, but I let go. And what happens then is something very important. It gives me the power back, the strength back. It gives the child also, this clarity. Okay, it's not me, it's the other person, it's not me, and I can actually safeguard myself. I can protect myself. I can protect my own feelings. I can choose, and that's the key word. I can choose. And that gives me power back. I can choose to say, okay, it's not me. I've done everything, and I will move forward without this person at the moment at my side, and I will live to the up to the truth. I will live up to my values, and something very, very magical happens then. And that's more energetic spiritual change, so to speak. It is putting myself into a different frequency. It's putting myself into a frequency of consciousness, of mindful understanding that we can't, change everything around other people. And it's okay as it is, but I can still choose to think in a certain way, to feel in a certain way, to act in a certain way. And I can still choose to send out, emotions of okay and fairness and even appreciation and love, even if I'm not happy with what the other person is doing. I can kind of level this out. This negativity that comes into my space can be leveled out. And this is what I think we should be teaching ourselves, but also our students and our children all the time. Because when I'm rooted in my own being, and I know that there is this strength within myself, and that I'm supported, and that everything which feels good, because that makes me feel good, that makes me feel confident, is based on values that are values of, I would call them, of light and not of darkness. It's values of light. And once I'm focusing and acting and thinking on that basis, and I choose mindfully and consciously to let go of people who do not want to open up towards me, or who are not kind to me, then I'm in a different kind of field of action, and I feel differently, and that allows a child, a human being, to stand straight independently on what the conditions, the outer conditions are. And that's this connection towards inwards instead of outwards. And the more we are connected internally, intrinsically, with a knowing that we are led, and that everything is okay, and that I'm okay after having, examined it and analyzed whether I've really done everything I could do, that gives me the power, as I said before, the power back. And this is what we are doing at School Beyond Limitations, because we think it's important for students, for children, to hold this understanding, to hold this mindful clarity in order to be strong in their decision making, to be strong and rooted within themselves. So if you think this is something that you would like your child to be exposed to, an environment that caters for this, then School Beyond Limitations is the right environment for your child, and maybe also for you as a family, because I just had yesterday a conversation with a family who said, you know, you have no idea how happy we are that we have found you, because it's not only for our children and it's also for us as parents, and we see which kind of environment this is, and we support one another, which is wonderful to hear. So you will find the website in the description. At School Beyond Limitations, we support our students find their unique essence. Feel free to share the content of this podcast with other parents. We are here to show that your children can indeed bring their unique essence into life. So, reach out to us if you think that this is what you'd like your daughter, your son to experience, or apply through our website. Also, leave your comments, your questions, or your review about the podcast. Share it with others. And as you know, sharing is caring.